Critics of the Church sometimes mock the temple garments that temple-endowed Latter-day Saints wear. They sometimes call it magic underwear or make claims about it that Latter-day Saints believe these cloths can protect them from physical harm. In theory, God could protect someone wearing these clothes, but such an event would be extremely rare. Latter-day Saints wear these clothes as a spiritual protection in their day-to-day lives. The garments remind a person of the covenants they make in the temple daily, so it should be harder to stray from these covenants. The important word there is should. If a person does not care or think about it, the ability to resist temptation will be just as easy as not wearing them. Latter-day Saints are not alone when it comes to wearing clothing of a religious nature. Judaism, Catholicism, other Christian groups, Muslims, and others also wear things associated with their religion. They don't seem to get the mockery that Latter-day Saints get from these critics. Some ask questions like, where in the Bible does it tell or mention believers to wear garments? It is a fair question. If the first-century Christians did wear clothes like our temple garments, they would most likely hold them as sacred as we do. Thus the odds of them writing about it would be remote. Latter-day Saints wear our garments under our regular clothes. They are for the individual wearing them and not for public discourse. For Latter-day Saints, the lack of mention of them in the Bible is consistent to how we believe the ancient followers would also see them. Though it is possible to prove from the Bible a direct equivalent to modern-day temple garments, the idea of sacred or holy garments is not foreign to the Bible. The first garments in the Bible are the ones made by God for Adam and Eve in Genesis 3:21 to cover their nakedness. The fact that these garments were made by God and not China or Mexico should carry some significance of holiness to them. Some ancient traditions about these garments are interesting. These garments were passed down from Adam and Eve, and over time Nimrod obtained them. Nimrod was able to be a great hunter by wearing these garments. The animals would submit to Nimrod when they saw the garments. Exodus chapter 28 and 29 speaks of specific holy garments that the priests of Levi to wear to perform certain functions. They are also mentioned in Exodus chapters 35 and 39. These holy garments were to be worn by the priests as they did their duties. One of the duties of the priests was to make offerings. Abel also made similar offerings in Genesis 4:4. It is possible that garments also were used by Abel and others in making a similar offering in before law of Moses' times. Revelation 3:4 and 16:15 refer to those who do not defile their garments. Is this speaking of literal garments or something else? People may interpret these passages differently. If by chance it is speaking about literal clothes, they would have spiritual significance. God would not care about regular clothes. Of course, why would God care about literal clothing even if it was sacred? God probably would not unless they were tied to something important. For Latter-day Saints, the temple garments are important as they are connected to the covenants made in the temple. To defile those garments is to defile the covenants of what the garments represent. This is just one reading, however, and I don't offer it as proof. Overall, it is impossible to prove the early Christians wore something like the temple garment that Latter-day Saints wear. It is impossible to prove that they did not wear them. Latter-day Saints don't base all of our views and practices from the Bible. We don't use this issue as a major issue in proclaiming the truth of the Church. For Latter-day Saints, the truth regarding the garments comes down the line after baptism and further revelation. Thank you for your time.